Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the inaugural episode of the Let's Chat podcast hosted by yours truly, Brenton Bell. This podcast has been in the works for a very long time. I have always wanted a platform to discuss topics that were of great importance to me. And that's what this podcast is going to be. Now, while we'll have a good time, we'll joke around, we'll tell some jokes, we'll also discuss some fairly serious topics on this podcast. We'll talk about history, we'll talk about current events, we'll talk about politics, we'll talk about religion. But through it all, I wish to laugh and have a good time. Now I know what you're thinking. Politics? Religion? You're going to talk about these things on the internet? Are you crazy? And the answer is yes, I am crazy. But I also believe that if there's any things that we've lost over the last 50 years in this country that we have got to get back, it is the ability to have dialogue with people that we disagree with. If we don't have conversations, if we don't talk to people with differing points of view, we will be ignorant as a society. And the only thing ignorance does is cause problems. So, my hope is whether you agree with some of the things I say or you disagree with some of the things I say, that no matter what, you will give this podcast a chance. And that you will also give your input. There's a reason I called this the Let's Chat podcast. Though I'm the person with the microphone and the camera, I'm not the only one with a voice. I'm not the only one with an opinion. And so I hope that you will trust this community, that we will build enough to share your opinion. And it is incumbent on all of you to show respect to the people in the comment sections, as I show respect to the people in the comment sections. Because once again, if we cannot have respectful, cordial dialogue, then we lose the very fabric of our republic. Now, I also happen to believe that despite what mainstream media and the politicians in Washington tell us, I don't truly believe we're as divided as they put on. You know, when I was thinking about what to write as the description to this podcast, I was typing it out on my computer. And one of the things I came up with was, in an era where mainstream media may not always be deemed reliable, it is incumbent upon the individual to disseminate the truth. Now, don't get me wrong. None of us are infallible. There's only ever been one perfect human being, and his name was Jesus Christ. But if we look to the facts and to the truth, because again, despite what many say, facts are facts, the truth is the truth, and the truth cannot change depending on the person. Facts don't care about your feelings, they don't care about where you live, they don't care about how much money you make. They are facts, and the truth is the truth. My promise to you on this podcast is I will do my utmost to bring you the cold hard truth when it comes to the serious topics. Sure, we all have biases. Unless you're a leaf on the ground, as long as you have a heartbeat in your chest and a brain in your head, you're going to have an opinion. You're going to have a bias. But I will do my utmost to bring you the cold hard truth when it comes to the serious situations. Altogether, we can build a community that is a shining light in a dim world. A shining light that says, we don't all agree with each other. The only people that agree with 100% of what everybody says 100% of the time is a cult. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be in a cult. But we can work together using this podcast, using our opinions, to create a world, a community that works together. I hope you will join me in this journey. I hope you will join together and watch this podcast, most of all, but also to respect each other's opinions. Now, as I said, politics and religion aren't the only things we're going to talk about. We'll joke around, talk about crazy people doing crazy things. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about me, if that's something you guys are interested in. I'm not really an interesting human being, I have to say. Some people think I'm funny, but looks are only skin deep. Others may find me interesting. I find myself interesting at times. But what I truly hope to accomplish is the building of a community. And I think that we can have a good time. I think we can have hard conversations. A little bit about me. As some of you have probably already attested and seen, I am a Christian. I believe that Jesus came to this earth, died for my sins, rose again and defeated death, so that I may live an eternal life with him in heaven. My Christianity is probably the only thing that is not up for debate with me. That is my core value, my core belief. I've seen too much in the short 19 years that I've been on this earth to not believe in God. I've seen too many miracles, too many things that can't be explained with human intervention. I also look out every single day at the beautiful country that we live in and the wonderful people that still exist in this country. And everywhere I look, I see God. I'm also a conservative. I believe in both fiscal and social conservatism. Now, hearing this, some of you have already formed an opinion. But once again, my hope is that whether you're conservative or liberal, Christian or Muslim, or an atheist, I hope you listen to the episodes where we will discuss religion and politics. I hope that you bring your point of view into the comment section for me to read. And I will bring my point of view in front of the camera for you to listen to. And maybe, just maybe, one of us will learn a thing or two. Or maybe we'll both learn something. At the end of the day, once again, if we ever completely lose the ability to listen to people that we disagree with, we will lose the very fabric of our republic. We've already seen it happen. We've seen presidential candidates get shot, have their life threatened on both sides. We've seen people attacked for their political and religious beliefs. We are at a very dark time in this country. But the good thing is we've been here before. We've came out on the other side of it. There's been times that this country has been so united by some weird things. If you remember, 5 short years ago, we were in the beginning of a worldwide pandemic. And we all pretty much came together behind one thing. Carol Baskins killed her husband. We've also come together in tragedy. 24 short years ago, on September 11th, 2001, before I was even born, our country was under attack. And on September 12th, 2001, we rose together, a unified country, behind the idea that nobody deserves to be at work and be killed by a terrorist organization. So we can unify. I believe this country still has it in itself to unify. But I believe we have to turn off the noise. And I believe we have to look into the individual, as I said. If you ask me, the biggest problem facing this country today is a lack of faith. Somebody else will tell you it's something completely different. The biggest thing is we have to work together to fix whatever problem there is. And I hope this podcast can shine a little light on some of those things. I don't know it all. I wish I did. I'd be great at Jeopardy if I knew it all. But I don't. I sit there and watch the show and go, who knows this stuff? But some people do. But I hope to learn. And I hope to shed a little knowledge. The little that I have. Biggest thing, I guess, is I hope you watch this podcast. Because once again, if you don't, I'd just be a guy sitting in a room with a microphone, staring at a camera. Be kind of depressing. You think about it. Maybe I'll appeal to your ethos, and you'll watch the podcast because you feel bad for me. I'd be okay with that. If you hate me, if you watch something and you decide you hate me, a person you barely know on the internet, and you watch it just simply to hate on me, that's okay too. Your view is still worth the same as it is if you love me. That's the only thing I really don't want with this podcast, and I know we're off on a tangent now, but you're going to have to get used to it. I don't want a fan club. I don't want t-shirts. I already ran a campaign and had t-shirts with my face on it, and it was cool while it lasted. But I don't want an internet fan club, so please don't do that. But if you do, again, make sure you watch the podcast. That's my only wish. So I know this is a shorter video, probably shorter than anything I'll ever do, again on this channel. But this is just a little introduction of what was me, here I am, and a little bit behind what the podcast is going to be. I'm going to sign off now. Whether you're watching this on YouTube, whether you're watching it on Spotify, you can watch on Spotify, I believe. If not, it'll just be the audio. But no matter where you're watching from, where you're listening from, please subscribe, please follow. Make sure to check us out on Facebook, the Let's Chat podcast page, hosted by Brenton Bell. Same thing on Instagram, and we're the Let's Chat podcast on YouTube and Spotify as well. We may also be on Rumble. All that'll be down in the description of the video, if there is a place to put it in the description. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am Brenton Bell. I hope you come back for our next episode. The announcement for that episode will be on the social media pages once it's getting ready to come out. May God bless you. May He show favor upon you and your family. May you have health and well-being. And may you always remember that if you live in America, you live in the greatest country on earth. And it is a blessing by God to live in the land of opportunity. Go forth, be strong, and remember, God bless America. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.